What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another full card prediction. This is for UFC St. Louis, Nascimento versus Lewis, and it's going to be a pretty good fight card, man. It's got a lot of good fights on the undercard. The main event, I feel like they kind of wasted a 5-round main event with this heavyweight fight, but it's still going to be a decent fight. It is what it is, but we do have some really good fights on this card and some really good betting spots. We're going to do a recap of UFC 301, go over a couple things, and then we'll get right into this breakdown. UFC 301, I went 3-2 for plus 2.1 units. Pretty happy about that. It was a fun night of fights. There was a lot of good fights on this card. Some interesting stuff happened, but 3 winning bets was Alejandro Costa plus 2.5 units, and he looked really good, man. Them leg kicks were definitely a problem. Mauricio Rufy, who looked killer, I had a 5-unit max bet on him, so we cleared 3.05 units on him. And then Pantoja Borralho, that Pantoja fight was excellent, man. Urseg's a lot tougher than I gave him credit for. Still thought Pantoja was going to get the win, even if Urseg was that tough, but Urseg's the real deal. 2 losing bets, Jonathan Martinez, man. Jose Aldo came out. He brought it, man. I don't know if he was on that Ryan Garcia protein package, but man, he looked so good for almost 38 years old. Gave Jonathan Martinez a bet lesson, that's for sure. And the second losing bet was Elvis Brenner at plus 195. Man, he fought for my money a couple of times. He snuck out the back door on Orobai and had some good moments in that fight. But Orobai, he's a beast, man. He's tough. So yeah, man, 3-2 for plus 2.1 units. That brings my official overall bet record 2024 37-37 for minus 18.95 units. Still down some units, but we're improving. We're getting some back. Overall bet record 334 and 250 for plus 100.015 units. Still up over $10,000 bucks, man. So it was a good card. It was a fun card. Like I said, Jose Aldo looked great. Pantoja fight was great. Jack Shore getting kicked in the leg like that and busting his leg open was crazy. But if you want to get more of my bets, get my early picks and my bets and stuff like that, check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Blood Money MMA Bets. I do have my Underdog partnership and my Underdog Fantasy giveaway. If you haven't opened up an Underdog Fantasy account and you do start a new account, use my link below, Blood Money MMA Bets, or the promo code Blood Money. And the next 50 people, well, I got 2 people in it already, but the next 50 people that sign up for it and send me a little screenshot of the deposit and stuff with that I have the promo code and stuff like that, will be entered into this contest. This contest is going to be for UFC 302. And like I said, if you get in it, if you put $10 on Underdog Fantasy, open a new account, you're going to get matched $10. You get to keep your $10. You get matched $10, and you're going to get put into this at least $500 worth of cards giveaway with a 1 in 50 chance to win them. You have to have a Twitter account because I'm going to do the contest on Twitter. It's going to be like how many significant strikes are landed in the main event or something like that. But I'll tag everybody that's in the contest. Only they will be able to comment on it, and we'll get us a winner. Here's the 5 cards for the Underdog Fantasy. Like I said, links in the description, or just use promo code Blood Money. 100% deposit. You get to keep your money, and you're going to get that deposit. But here's the 5 cards you have a chance to win. Movsar Evelev, autograph rookie, which dude's a beast. Obviously, Tom Aspinall, autograph rookie, dude's a beast. Ciro Gane, disco ball, autograph rookie. Obviously, he's a beast. He's going to be fighting for the title again. I don't even want to give this away, to be honest. Shavkat Rakhmonov, autograph card. How sick is that? And then the 5th card is a Hamzat Chimaev autograph card. That's a Gem Mint 10 from PSA. So that's a legit giveaway. Like I said, put in $10, you get matched $10. You keep both $10, and you're still into this giveaway. So let me know. Send me a message on Instagram or Twitter if you sign up for it. And then check out our Defender Unit show on Wednesday night with me and my co-host Johnny K. Picks. That's where we give out our ladder challenge, where we hit the 2nd step of the ladder challenge. We're on the 3rd step. The 10th step will get us to 25K. So check us out for that. That's where you'll get Baby Blood's picks too, man. She picked Urseg this week. And, plus 165 dog, he put up a good fight for the money. And then if you ever want to check out any Blood Money merchandise, the Blood Money gear, the cool stuff I'm wearing, I'm going to be wearing stuff like this, the UFC Louisville, since I just got our tickets. I'm so happy about that. But go to facemeetfist.com or Face Meet Fist on Instagram. The links are in the description below. And that's where you can get all this Blood Money gear. You can get the Face Meet Fist gear. We're going to have the Defender Units gear and all that stuff on there. So definitely check that out. But yeah, man, this is going to be a really good card, and I just can't wait to see who wins the main event in this one. But let's get into it. First fight is in the women's flyweight division. We got JJ Aldrich versus Veronica Hardy. JJ Aldrich is 13-6, 31 years old, 5'5" with a 67.5-inch reach. Veronica Hardy is 8-4-1, 28 years old, 5'4" with a 64-inch reach. This should be a pretty good fight for a girls' fight. Both these girls are pretty skilled. JJ Aldrich has good southpaw boxing. No real power, but she has decent volume and she has good accuracy. She has pretty good offensive wrestling, and she has pretty good takedown defense. Jiu-jitsu is pretty good. You know, she's got wins over girls like Vanessa Demopoulos, where she was able to go to the ground with her and wasn't in trouble ever and was able to get that win. But she's not dangerous, and she basically, you know, is just a boxer. Like that's what she does. Veronica Hardy, she's got a Taekwondo background. She's really elusive. She uses a ton of movement, and you can tell with her Taekwondo, she darts in, hits with big punches, hits with big body kicks, and then darts back out, you know, and tries to not take any damage. It seems that since her time off and training with her husband, Dan Hardy, who's pretty much an MMA genius, her game planning is way better in her 2 fights that she's had since she's came back, and her grappling seems to be very much improved. So this is going to be a good fight. Like I said, I believe Veronica Hardy's -145 right now, and I like her in this fight. I think her speed is going to kill. I think she's going to be a lot faster than JJ. I think JJ is going to be chasing her around trying to box her, and I think Veronica is just going to be pot shotting her, hitting her with big shots, and maybe she can mix in a little bit of grappling and get the win, get some control time and get the win that way. But I think she can win the striking match too. So give me Veronica Hardy, and I'll say she gets it done by decision. JJ Aldrich is super tough. Next fight's in the men's flyweight division. We got Jake Hadley versus Charles Johnson. Jake Hadley is 10-2, 27 years old, 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. Charles Johnson is 33 years old, 14-6, 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. So you see Johnson's going to be 2 inches taller, but he's also going to be 6 years older, and the reach is the same. Jake Hadley's a good fighter, man, out of England. He's got really good boxing. He works the body really well. You see him against Candelario. Just works the body excellent with his boxing, goes upstairs, very good. The only thing I don't like about him, he doesn't have the best takedown defense, but he does have really good jiu-jitsu. He has really good submissions, and he has really good sweeps. You've seen he was able to submit Candelario, almost submitted Cody Durden, man, had that face down arm bar in, and it was close. I was in Nashville. We really thought that fight was going to be over. But Cody just, you know, kept pushing. He's a monster and just kept pushing, was able to get that win. But you see against Malcolm Gordon, them body shots, man, took him out in under a minute. Had a really good back and forth fight with Alon Nascimento, but just got out grappled there. But the kid's good, man. He's got really good cardio. That's what I like. And he's got really good toughness. And his striking's really what he's good at, even though he excels at BJJ. His striking's good, man. He's got good cardio, good toughness. Charles Johnson, good Muay Thai. Throws a decent amount of volume. He throws more kicks than punches pretty much. But the dude's got world-class durability. He can be taken down, but he does have a good scramble game to get up. He used a little bit of wrestling against Maxim last fight, and it looked pretty good because he's huge at this division. So he might be able to mix some grappling in here. Like I said, world-class durability, never been finished. Neither one of these guys have ever been finished. So I like the over. But in this fight, man, I'm going to go with Jake Hadley. I think that he has the crisper boxing. I think he's going to land the bigger shots in this fight because Charles Johnson isn't dangerous at all. And I think Hadley can land the bigger shots. I think he's got the cardio to keep up with Charles Johnson. That was a big thing I was looking for. So give me Jake Hadley. I think he has the better boxing here, and I think he's going to get this done. I think he gets it done by decision. Next fight is in the men's welterweight division. We got Jared Gooden versus Kevin Jousset. And if I can just find it. This is going to be a really good fight in the welterweight division. Jared Gooden is 23-9, 30 years old, 6 foot with a 77-inch reach. Kevin Jousset is 10-2, 6'2", 75-inch reach, 31 years old. So you see Jousset's 2 inches taller, but Gooden's actually going to have 2 inches of reach, and everything else is pretty much identical. Jared Gooden, man, he's been in and out of the UFC a couple times now. This dude has world-class durability, and he has excellent takedown defense. He has good boxing. He has a really good long jab, and he's got pretty good power in his hands. You see he was able to hurt Wellington Turman really bad. He got the rear naked choke, but it was more of a club and sub. He's gotten good wins outside of the UFC, but not inside of the UFC. He's pretty much lost all of his fights inside the UFC. He beat Nicholas Stolze, and he beat Wellington Turman. But other than that, he's just had some pretty tough fights. Alan Jouban, Abubakar Nurmagomedov, Randy Brown, and Carlston Harris inside the UFC. But like I said, the guy's got world-class durability. He's very hittable. He's got a good jab, and he's got good power in his right hand. Excellent takedown defense. Kevin Jousset is a tall, long kickboxer. He's fighting out of city kickboxing, but he actually comes from a judo background. He's got pretty good judo. You never really see him use it too much in fights, but it helps him for his takedown defense. He's a big, tall dude, man. You've seen his last fight against Kenan Song, where he's just tall, big, took the shots and gave him back bigger shots and throws tons of volume. I really love his calf kicks. I like his fast, long, accurate boxing. Good kicks to the body too, and he's just a very tough dude. He throws a ton of shots, and his jab is money. And like when I watched the Bubakar Nurmagomedov beat Jared Gooden, he was doing that with the jab a lot. He was just jabbing Gooden up, you know. And Gooden doesn't move his head, and he tends to slow down a little bit as fights go. So I'm going to take Kevin Jousset here. I think this kid's actually pretty good, and he might have a little decent run here. Just being so big, so long, so accurate, throws a ton of volume, and super tough. So give me Kevin Jousset, and I'm going by decision because he doesn't load up on his punches. He's just hitting you with calf kicks, punches. They're all solid, but he's never trying to finish you with one big punch. And Jared Gooden's tough. So give me Kevin Jousset by decision. Next fight's going to be freaking awesome. We got Tabatha Ricci versus Tecia Torres, a.k.a. Tecia Pennington. She's now married to the 135-pound champ. And she has a kid. She had a kid within the last year and a half, and she's coming back now at 34 years old. But Tabatha Ricci's 9-2, 29 years old, 5'1" with the 61-inch reach. Tecia Torres, 13-6, 34 years old, 5'1" with the 61-inch reach. So you see everything's even but the age. Torres Pennington is 5 years older, but she's a very athletic girl and not one. You know what I mean? She's just naturally gifted athletics, so I don't think she's going to get out of shape and stuff like that. But Tabatha Ricci's well-rounded. She's got excellent BJJ. She's got pretty good wrestling, pretty good timing on her takedowns. She almost hit Lupe Godinez in the first round with a good takedown, but Lupe Godinez showed good takedown defense. But against like Jillian Robertson, if she wants to get the takedowns, versus everybody pretty much but Lupe Godinez. But Lupe Godinez was by far the best fighter she fought. But she's got pretty good boxing and pretty good leg kicks, but it just doesn't seem like she really believes in it against another good striker. Like against Lupe, even though she did hit Lupe with a good shot in the first and the third, the rest of the fight, she's just backing up, and Lupe's just walking her down, throwing big shots. And it just seemed like Tabatha didn't believe in sitting down on her punches. She just didn't believe in her striking. So when she couldn't get her grappling going, she did not look that good, you know. But like I said, well-rounded. Good wrestling, world-class BJJ, and she's got pretty good Muay Thai striking. Tecia Torres has phenomenal striking, man. She's throwing spin kicks. She's the Tyner Tornado. She's been fighting in the UFC for a long time. She's got a ton of experience. She's got 6 losses, but them are all to, you know, the toppest level. Weili Zhang, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Jessica Andrade, Marina Rodriguez. Like, she fought a killer's row. Came back, got a little step down in competition versus Brianna Fortino and Sam Hughes, and was able to whoop on them bad. Beat Angela Hill, which was a really good fight, and then lost to Mackenzie Dern, but I thought she won there. So she should be on a 4-fight win streak. She's got excellent takedown defense and wrestling. She's got really good jiu-jitsu. You've seen in the Mackenzie Dern fight to stay alive there in a couple bad situations. Like I said, I thought she won that fight, but in this fight, even though she's had a little bit of a layoff, like a year and a half, and she's had a baby, I'm still going with Tecia Torres because I believe that she has the takedown defense to keep this fight standing. And when they're standing, I believe she has the way better striking. I mean, she's going to be throwing crazy kicks, crazy punches. She has a little bit more power. She definitely believes in herself more standing. So give me Tecia Torres as the underdog with just a little bit better striking, you know, way better experience too. Next fight is in the men's welterweight division. We got Trey Waters versus Billy Goff. Trey Waters is 8-1, 29 years old, 6'5" with the 77-inch reach for the welterweight division is wild. Billy Goff is 9-2, 25 years old, 5'10" with the 72.5-inch reach. Trey Waters, you seen on the Contender Series, he was doing pretty good in the boxing area with Bonfim until Bonfim hit the takedown. Then he tried to guillotine Bonfim. Got him in the I'm having a brain fart. Like the guy. Well, let's look it up. The opposite of it's the defense of the guillotine, and it is the Von Flu, the Saint Preux. So, but yeah, man. Other than that, you know, he was looking decent. You watch him on the regional scene. He's got good boxing. He's pumping out a jab, but he's really low output. But he's pumping out a jab that has pretty decent pop to it, and then he's got a good 1-2, man. Good punch right down the middle. He had this knee to the head over Benjamin Bennett in that fight, and late into the third round where he got dominated the whole fight. He was getting grappled. He was getting held up against the cage and just pretty much getting outstruck. Even against Jalen Fuller, he got rocked a couple times in that fight. He was getting beat most of that fight all the way up to he got the KO punch. And then, like I said, Bonfim got him at the Bonflu. He came in and fought Josh Quinlan, and Josh Quinlan just did not strike him back. I mean, it was a very low output fight, but it was like Quinlan didn't put any output into the fight. And Trey Waters looked good and got the win on short notice. Billy Goff, man, this kid's a junkyard dog. I'll tell you that right now. His motor never stops. He's got really good boxing with really good power. You've seen that body punch that he dropped Kinoshita with in the first round in his UFC debut. On the Contender Series, he got dropped with a head kick, clean head kick right off the bat. Got back up and put the pressure on Shimon and got him out of there in the first round. I'm talking about pressure. Like, this kid starts throwing punches. It's 10, 15 punch combinations when he's got you up against the cage, working the body, the head. It's kind of reckless. He can get hit hard. He can get hurt. Like against Shimon, hit him with that head kick, hurt him. He's been hurt in a couple other fights. He didn't really get hurt in the Kinoshita fight, but he's one of them dudes that like gets hit really hard. He's like a Landwehr, where he gets hit really hard and it kind of wakes him up, man. And then he just puts the pressure on you, you know. And he's got good wrestling. He's got good submission defense, good submissions himself, good boxing. He's a well-rounded fighter, man. He's a junkyard dog. I'm actually going to take Billy Goff in this fight as an underdog because I think that he can put the pressure. He's going to have way more output than Trey Waters, as long as he doesn't get knocked out at any point in this fight. But Billy Goff's never been knocked out. He has 2 submission losses in his amateurs years ago, but he's never been knocked out. He has been dropped, but he always comes back too. So as long as Trey Waters don't knock him out, I think Billy Goff, he can even finish him. He could. I've seen Trey Waters get hurt a couple times himself in his fights. So I like Billy Goff here. I think Billy Goff's going to be a little bit more well-rounded. He may even be able to get some grappling going, but Billy Goff's a savage, man. So give me Billy Goff. Next fight is in the men's lightweight division. We got Terrance McKinney versus Esteban Ribovics. Terrance McKinney's 15-6, 29 years old, 5'10" with a 73.5-inch reach. Ribovics is 12-1, 28 years old, 5'10" with a 69-inch reach. So you see McKinney's going to have 4.5 inches of reach, but everything else is pretty much the same. Terrance McKinney, man, kill or be killed, you know. I don't know what it is, because I don't think it's the cardio. It may be the fact that he just goes so hard in that first round for the finish, but for some reason after the first round, I don't know if it's his mental, what goes on, but he falls off a cliff in the second round and literally loses his aggression. Just instead of him hunting somebody down, he's just against the cage, like against Bonfim, just waiting to get kneed. He got kneed against Sean Woodson on the Contender Series the same way. He even against Nazim, you know, Salikov, you could see he put a beating on Salikov or worked him in the first round, had grappling going, and just kind of gave up in the second. But he does have good wins like Farasiam, where he's able to choke him out in the first round, which is a very, very good win. That's aging very well. And then he knocks out Steamroller with a 1-2 in 13 seconds or whatever. So he shows flashes of greatness, but man, he's first round or bust. He's the definition. He's got a tough fight. Well, and McKinney, like I said, crazy 1-2 with speed. He's got good step-in knees. He also has good clinch knees to the face. Them are the big weapons that he uses. Then he's got phenomenal wrestling. When he gets guys down, he's got excellent jiu-jitsu. You see it, like you said, against Farasiam, where he's just taking him down. He was able to get like a neck crank, rear naked choke type deal on him. And he's choked some other guys out, Eric Gonzalez in the first round, and knock some guys out. But like I said, you know, well-rounded. He just, if he could fight how he fights in the first round for all 3 rounds, this kid would be a problem. But something happens. But he's fighting Esteban Ribovics, man. This kid's got good boxing. He'll switch stances on you. He's got really good cardio, really good volume, and he's just throwing a lot of punches. He's got pretty good power. You've seen even against Razabov. He was able to hurt him a couple times in that fight, but Razabov was just able to take him down because Ribovics doesn't have any takedown defense like whatsoever. The Camilla Kirk fight was very close. Kirk was able to take him down and dominate him in the first round, had him in a couple bad spots, almost finished him, and then Ribovics survived. And in the second round, even the striking was very close, and then he hurt Kamala Kirk with like a minute left, stole that round, and then even the third round was pretty damn close. So this is going to be a good fight. Like I said, Ribovics is basically, he's not going to grapple at all offensively, and he's really only going to box, but he's really good at that boxing. He puts a really good pace, and he hits really hard. This is a tough fight to call. I'm going with Terrance McKinney in this fight. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going with Terrance McKinney because what I seen from Ribovics, what happened with Camuela Kirk, and even Loic, how they were able to take him down real easy, and Loic dropped him in the first like 30 seconds in that fight, is that McKinney's gonna be able to get him down in the first minute if he wants, right? So it's, can he finish him? And Ribovics hasn't fought the highest level of competition, you know, to survive. And I feel like if McKinney can finish Farasiam, he can finish Esteban Ribovics. I'm not going to have no bet on this fight, but give me Terrance McKinney by first round submission. He could even drop him right off the bat because, like I said, I've seen Ribovics get hurt right off the bat, and Terrance McKinney could be that guy. But, you know, as far as betting on him, I don't think I can get around Next fight is in the men's lightweight division. We have Chase Hooper versus Viacheslav Borshchev. Chase Hooper is 13-3-1, 24 years old, 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. Viacheslav is 32 years old, 5'11", 60 with a 69-inch reach, and he's 7-3-1. This is a style matchup. You got grappler versus striker to the fullest. Chase Hooper, even though at 155 his striking's improving, everything's improving for him at 155. And after watching the tape of his 145 fights and his 155 fights, what I came up with the fact is he's way better at 155 because the guys are bigger and slower at 155. At 145, he was just trying to chase guys down, and trying to just grab them. And them was little fast motherfuckers like Alex Caceres and Peterson and just a ton of super fast guys. Then he comes up to 155. And granted, the two guys, Jordan Levitt and the other dude are both kind of lower level, and they're both kind of grapplers. They didn't have no other choice, man, because his striking, Nick Fiore, his striking looked a lot better. As far as throwing big shots and closing the distance, like everything looks better at 155 for Chase Hooper, and he puts a pace on guys. Like he's not going to be standing at range with Borshchev for long, because if he is, he's going to get finished like he did against Steven Garcia. But man, his pressure, his pace, his wrestling, his jiu-jitsu is top notch. You seen him choke out Jordan Levitt. That's not easy to do. That's how high level his jiu-jitsu is when he gets it to the ground. Wrestling's improving, striking's improving, jiu-jitsu's world class. Cardio seems to check out great at 155. Borshchev is a phenomenal world-class kickboxer. He's got pro kickboxing experience. He's excellent. Switches stances, man. He's hitting you with the calf kicks. He's hitting you with the jab. His punches are so smooth, and he's coming from weird angles, man. You seen he was hitting Salikov with everything but the kitchen sink. He just couldn't get him out of there. Salikov obviously hit him with that big shot and then head kicked him in the second round. Right after the big shot, it was crazy. But yeah, man, Borshchev, like I said, kickboxer. His only problem is he's been grappled in the UFC a couple times, man. Mike Davis out-grappled him, took him down, didn't finish him, but just kind of dominated him. And then Mark Diakese did too. He was able to get Machate out of there because Machate just struck with him. But man, in this fight, this is a very tough fight to call. I'm going with Borshchev, though. Here's why I'm going with Borshchev. I'm going with Borshchev because he made Mike Davis work like a mofo, right, in that fight. And I think Mike Davis is so much better than Chase Hooper. And when Mike Davis was getting the takedowns, and he's got good jiu-jitsu. We've seen Mike Davis hold people down, choke people out. Borshchev was getting up a lot. I think Davis took him down like 9 times. And Davis, like, hyperventilating by the second round. He came out and he still fought very tough. But Borshchev, when you take him down, he makes you work. Granted, Chase Hooper has better jiu-jitsu than Mike Davis, probably as far as just natural jiu-jitsu and scrambles and all that, and the pressure that he puts. But I'm going to take Borshchev. I'm going to say at some point, Chase is going to keep taking him down. He's going to slow down. And when they have to stand, I think Borshchev hits him with the hard shot. But I want to tell you this. I went into this fight wanting to bet Chase Hooper at plus 160, did all the tapes, still came out. Very close fight. And I just take Borshchev just because of that Mike Davis fight, man. Like I said, I think his takedown defense is getting a little bit better. Get up game's getting better, and he's got phenomenal cardio. You even seen against Sadikov where he got hurt, almost finished in the second round, put in a ton of work in the first and second round, and the third round came out on fire after taking a beating. So the dude's a beast. Next fight is in the men's heavyweight division. We got Waldo Costa Cortes versus Robelis Despaigne. And this is going to be a banger. Waldo Cortes-Acosta, 11-1. What the fuck is this advertisement? What is this? Waldo Costa Cortez, 11-1, 32 years old, 6'4" with a 78-inch reach. Robelis Despaigne is 5-0, 35 years old, 6'7" with the 87-inch reach, 87-inch reach, biggest reach ever in the UFC, man. The dude's gigantic. Waldo Costa Cortez, though, he's got good boxing, man. He didn't come from an MMA background. He played baseball and then got into boxing. Did not do very good in boxing. Got knocked out a couple times in boxing and came over to MMA. And since he's came over to MMA, he's done pretty well. He's had some decent wins in the UFC. I believe he is 4-1 in the UFC. Wins over Vandera, Sherman, Bresky, and Arlovsky aren't the most impressive. And most of the time, he wasn't that impressive in them wins. His loss to Marcos Rogerio de Lima was just, he took way too many leg kicks and was taken down. But he's a good boxer. He just doesn't have much power. And he always takes the second round off. Like, he does pretty good in the first round, takes the second round off, and then comes back and wins a close third round like he did against Arlovsky. But, just doesn't have much power in his hands. And he's very tough, though, man. He's one of the toughest guys in the world. You see the leg kicks that he's took from De Lima, Bandera, all these guys, and he doesn't fold, man. He doesn't even like start hobbling. It's crazy because it'll take like 30 leg kicks. Robelis Despaigne is a Taekwondo guy from Cuba that was in the Olympics for Taekwondo, man. He's so big, 6'7" with the 87-inch reach. You can't find much tape on him because he kills everybody in 13 seconds. This is what it is. That's the facts of the case. Everybody that he's fought, he's killed. He killed Parisian in 18 seconds. He killed Miles Banks in 4 seconds. Stevie Payne in 3 seconds. Gregory in 12 seconds. His first fight went 4 minutes and 54 seconds because that guy was able to hold him up against the cage for a little while, but that was his first MMA fight. And as soon as he got off the cage, he proceeded to put that guy down. So he's so dangerous with both hands. He can knock you out going forward, backwards. Excellent kicks that we haven't even got to see yet. So this dude's dangerous, man. This dude's been fighting his whole life for this stuff in Cuba, and you know how they do it with their athletes, where Waldo Cortes was playing baseball and all that. I'm taking Robelis Despaigne. I think he's going to have some nice tricks for Waldo Cortes, and I think he's going to knock him out sometime in the first round. But they're going to start banging, but I'd like Despaigne a lot in this fight. Next fight is in the men's lightweight division. We got Diego Ferreira versus Mateusz Rebecki. Ferreira's coming in on slightly short notice. Rebecki was supposed to fight Joao Alvarez a couple weeks ago. They ended up, Alvarez pulled out, so they found Ferreira for him, waited, a couple weeks. But Ferreira, 18-5, 39 years old, 5'9" with the 74-inch reach. Rebecki is 19-1, 31 years old, 5'7" with the 66-inch reach, which is crazy. So you see Ferreira is 8 years older. He's going to be 2 inches taller, and he's going to have 8 inches of reach. Somehow Mateusz Rebecki has 66-inch reach, which is freaking crazy. That's crazy for a freaking lightweight, but it is what it is. Diego Ferreira, 39 years old, pretty good offensive wrestling, good defensive wrestling, and phenomenal jiu-jitsu. He's like a 3rd-degree black belt or something crazy like that, man. The dude's a badass on the ground, good scrambles, good submissions, and he's got pretty good striking. You've seen him knocking out Michael Johnson in his last fight, but that's not really what he wants to do. Michael Johnson was winning that whole fight, and he just threw that big overhand right and caught Michael Johnson right on the end of the chin with it, man. It was crazy. But he's a good, well-rounded fighter. He's got a ton of experience, and like I said, good scrambles, good everything. He slows down in the 3rd round. You've seen it against Gregor Gillespie. You've seen it against he actually got kneed in the ribs by Mateusz Gamrot in the 2nd round, lost that fight, and then even against Benio Dariush, completely gassed out in the 3rd round. Rebecki, this guy's a savage, man. He's a little spark plug. He's built like a short little fire hydrant. He throws powerful leg kicks. You've seen against Loic Royzabov. He throws powerful punches. You've seen that on the Contender Series and all throughout his career, man. Even against Nick Fiore when he almost gassed himself out, just laying a beating on him. But Roosevelt Roberts, he showed off his awesome wrestling and his grappling, dude. He's got 6 submissions, 9 KOs, 7 submissions, and his submissions are sick. He's got this crazy armbar that like did exactly what he did to Roosevelt Roberts. That sick armbar. He almost did it to Loic in that fight, but it's a good armbar, man. The dude's dangerous everywhere. He's got good cardio, super tough, very durable. I got to take Rebecki here, man. I think this guy's, destined to do some pretty good things here in the UFC. And I think 39-year-old Diego Ferreira is just going to be a guy on the way there, even though it's going to be a good, tough fight. Don't get me wrong, where it's not like this dude is just going to dog walk Ferreira, but in the first round and a half, it'll be close. And after that, Rebecki's damage and everything will take over, and he's going to get that win. Next fight is in the men's featherweight division. We got Alex Caceres for Sean Woodson. Alex Caceres is 21-14, 35 years old, 5'10", with a 73.5-inch reach. Sean Woodson is 11-1-1, 31 years old, 6'2", with a 78-inch reach. And this is going to be a good fight, man. Alex Caceres, he's got that karate style where he's darting in with his punches, darting in with his kicks. He's getting so much better. He's actually adding some power to his game. Got that knockout over Julian Erosa. Looked decent against Giga. It was a striking match, and Giga just happens to be the better striker. That win over Daniel Pineda was good because Daniel Pineda is a beast, and he showed really excellent grappling in that and good striking anytime it was on the feet. Had a good fight with Sadiq Youssef. That was a very, very close fight too. And then got that rear naked choke over Sung Woo Choi. Caceres took his licks early on in his career in the UFC, and since then he's been improving a ton, man. And he's added a lot of grappling to his game. He does a lot of grappling tournaments and stuff, but his wrestling's looking a lot better. He's actually winning the offensive wrestling scrambles, because that was his thing. And back in the day, people would take him down and submit him, man. If you got him down, you were going to submit him. But, you know, that was 5-6 years ago. He's a new fighter since then, man. He's good. He looked good against Sadiq Youssef. He's looked good against, you know, some top guys. Sean Woodson, same thing, man. He's looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. He's a boxer, tall, long boxer. The guy's 6'2" with the 78-inch reach at 145, which is crazy. He comes from a boxing background. He was a pro boxer. Long jab. He'll switch stances. It's hard for guys to get in on him and get out of that boxing range because he's switching stances and constantly jabbing you and just touching you. Adding some kicks to his game, and his wrestling, offensive and defensive wrestling and jiu-jitsu's gotten a lot better. He should have lost to what the heck? Where Luis Saldana? That was so crazy. Luis Saldana has the worst fight IQ ever. If you ever bet on that guy, you're asking to lose. He hurt Sean Woodson, dropped him, and then he sits down. He starts like doing this in the air and stuff instead of finishing him. Then he drops him again and then knees in the face when he's down. Sean Woodson should have lost that fight. Instead, he fights his way back to a draw. But that was just a crazy fight. His last fight with Charles Jourdain, it was pretty good. Charles Jourdain tried to grapple him, wrestle him a lot, and Charles Jourdain has terrible offensive wrestling, so he wasn't able to do nothing. And then Woodson kind of hit him with the bigger shots when Jourdain was coming in. In this fight, I actually like Alex Caceres, man, because Woodson, where he's boxing and moving a lot, Caceres has good boxing himself, and he's going to be throwing more kicks. And I don't know if he gets him down, but Alex Caceres is going to have the grappling advantage. Like I said, Charles Jourdain just couldn't get the takedowns on Woodson. I think Caceres can. I think Caceres has better cardio and just better fight IQ than Charles Jourdain. So give me Alex Caceres by decision. I think that he can land some big shots with Woodson. He might even be able to stun Woodson and get him out of there. But if not, I think he can win a decision and mix in some grappling. So give me Alex Caceres. I like his experience. I like what he does, man. Next fight's in the men's light heavyweight division. We got Alonzo Menifield versus Carlos Ulberg. Alonzo Menifield's 15-3-1, 36 years old, 6 foot with the 76-inch reach. Carl Ulberg is 9-1, 33 years old, 6'4" with the 77-inch reach. Alonzo Menifield, man, this dude's all power, man. He comes forward. First off, I like that he's moved out to Colorado. I know he's training with Pat Barry, but I like that he's gone out to Colorado. His cardio's looking a lot better, and his whole fighting style is looking a lot better. He's a come-forward guy. He's got power in both hands, KO power in both hands. What I really like, his best weapon to me is his left hook. That's what he kept hitting Dustin Jacoby with and dropping him, which he looked good in that fight. You know, he was kind of getting beat for most of the fight, but he would get jabbed up, but he would just have big moments and drop Jacoby, you know. Jimmy Crute, he was able to beat him pretty much both times. The last time he looked really good. Like I said, and then he's got some lower-level wins, but his only problem is he gets hit with left hooks, man. That's what OSP was able to get him out of there with. And even Dustin Jacoby hit him with a couple good ones, but he took him well and came forward, you know. And I think he has more belief in his toughness and cardio these days. Carlos Ulberg is a finesse kickboxer, man. He's got excellent striking. When he lets his hands go, they're straight. Well, his left hook's crazy, but his jab is powerful. And when he lets combos go, they're so fast, straight down the middle and just hurting guys, man. Good kicks, powerful leg kicks. And then he showed us like some grappling against Dawoon Jung in that last fight where he's actually able to get the finish with like 2-3 seconds left. 11 seconds. He was able to get that rear naked choke. So showed a little wrinkle in his game. This is going to be a really good fight. I went into this fight thinking that I was going to want to bet Alonzo Menifield, you know, at plus 180, and still might not be a bad bet because he might have them big moments just like he did against Dustin Jacoby where he's able to just land the big shots. He may even be able to wrestle here, but Carlos Ulberg's got 100% takedown defense. He has never fought a great wrestler that's really tried to take him down, but, I mean, he's showed pretty good takedown defense so far. So give me Carlos Ulberg in this fight. I think he can use that jab. That's what Dustin Jacoby was piecing up Menifield, but he would just get hit. He got hit with a big shot and dropped at the end of the first round and in the third round, and that's what got Menifield to split. I think that the difference too with Ulberg and Jacoby is Jacoby throws a lot of volume. He doesn't hit very hard. He throws a lot of volume. He's in your face and he's there to be hit sometimes. Carlos Ulberg ain't like that. He's a sniper. He's going to be moving around. He's not going to be in a bunch of exchanges with Alonzo Menifield. He's going to be moving around, sticking him with that jab from the outside, hitting him with leg kicks. And when he does, he might be able to get Menifield out of there because his left hook's killer. And that's what Menifield gets hit with and put down when he's kind of rushing in and lunging in with his big punches. So give me Ulberg. I think that he catches Menifield with the left hook at some point. So give me Ulberg by KO. Next fight is in the men's welterweight division. We got Joaquin Buckley versus Nursulton Ruzibov. And Ruzibov's dropping down to 170 for this fight, which is pretty wild because he just fought, you know, what, like a month ago at 185, I believe. but it'll be about a month and a half. We'll go at 185, and he's taking. These guys are both taking it on short notice. They both fought on the same card, taking this fight. And like I said, Ruziboyev is dropping down to 170. Buckley is 18-6, 30 years old, 5'10 with a 76-inch reach. Ruziboyev is 34, 8-2, 30 years old, 6'5. Reach is unavailable, but I think it's like 77 inches or something like that. Buckley, man, is an explosive southpaw striker, dude. His boxing's powerful. He's got KO power in both hands. He's got good head kicks. You've seen against Fiallo. Good energy, good explosion. He's very fast and he's very explosive. He darts in with his punches, hits you with like throws a big 3-4 punch combination, darts back out. He's got good offensive and defensive wrestling. He's got excellent ground and pound. You've seen against Vicente Luque, and he's got pretty good jiu-jitsu. Even Alex Morono and his win over Morono, he had him in a couple bad spots on the ground. He used the cage. Freaking put his toes in the cage to get Buckley in an arm bar and then to a triangle. Buckley got out of both, looked pretty good in that. Cardio seems to check out at 170, pretty much every weight class, because even against at 185 against the sniper, the dude he fought in France, the French kickboxer, Nasruddin Imavov. When he fought him, Imavov kind of beat him up for them first 2 rounds, and then Buckley came out in the 3rd round and went ham and almost got him out of there. You know, hit him with some really big shots, showed good cardio, good toughness. Ruziboyev, man, this dude is huge. He's tall, big striker. He can throw some powerful leg kicks, but man, his boxing's where it's at. He's got a solid 1-2. I've seen in numerous fights, like even when he knocked out Bruno Ferreira, that wasn't a that really wasn't like a fluke, because I've seen in a couple of fights where he's caught leg kicks and he just throws a powerful straight right down the pipe, and his arms are so long and he's basically punching down at people. He's hitting them hard, dude, and putting them out. So that was a sick win over Bruno Ferreira. His next fight, that was a crazy win over Cedricus Dumas, because he was doing good in that fight, don't get me wrong, but he poked him in the eyes, and Dumas turns his back, like, you know, and the ref just didn't care, and he beat the shit out of him. Maybe, you know, Dumas deserves that for some of the stuff he's done in his life. That's just karma catching up. But Ruziboyev, you know, he got the win there. I would have liked to see a little bit more, see him get out of the first round, because he's got, 26 first-round finishes, you know, and that's tough. The only time I seen him lose was about 5 years ago, and it was because he gassed out. He came out in the first round. But I will say this: he put everything on that dude. He dropped the dude a couple times. Like one time, he had him in a Kimura and almost ripped his arm off. Like he did a lot of stuff, and then he just gassed out. So that was 5 years ago. He's been in America training a lot more since then, and a lot of stuff. So this is a tough fight to call, because Buckley's good and Ruziboyev's good. I'm going to take Ruziboyev for the fact that he's very durable, and I've seen Buckley get knocked down. He gets knocked out by tall dudes, like Kevin Holland was able to hit him with a bunch of long shots, you know, and just hit him from distance, man, catch him coming in and put him out. Nasruddin Imavov was a lot bigger, and he was picking him apart, even used a little bit of grappling there. But yeah, this could be a tough fight. I don't know if I'll get around to betting it, but I'm going to take Ruziboyev. I'm going to say that he's able to land a shot on Buckley. Buckley, like I said, I think he's got 6 losses and like 4 knockouts or something like that. Yeah, 4 knockout losses. So I'm going to take the more durable guy that hits very hard. So give me Ruziboyev, and I'm going to take him by first or early second round knockout. Main event time. We have Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. What a waste of a main event, man. If you're going to make a 5-round main event, don't do it 2 heavyweights that ain't going to get outside of 2 rounds, really. You know what I mean? So, but Derek Lewis, man, 27-12. 39 years old, 6'3" with a 79-inch reach. Rodrigo Nascimento, 11-1. 31 years old, 6'2" with the 80-inch reach. So they're about the same height, same size. Lewis is 8 years older, but, you know, in heavyweight, them guys can fight for a long time. Derek Lewis, man, bruiser, knocks you out, KO power in both hands, but really wants to put you to sleep with the right. Right uppercut, overhand right. He's got crazy flying knees. You've seen against Marcos Rogerio de Lima, and he's fought the highest level of competition his whole career. I mean, he did take some losses recently, but that's the Sergey Spivak. The Tai Tuivasa one wasn't great, but he hit him with a big elbow. Sergey Spivak fight wasn't great, but Sergey Spivak's one of the best wrestlers in the heavyweight division, and Derek Lewis doesn't wrestle that great as far as like somebody just sitting there suplexing him 9 different times, you know. And actually, Spivak has really good jiu-jitsu too. But yeah, Pavlik, Jailton Almeida, he showed excellent jiu-jitsu in that fight. Went 5 rounds with Jailton Almeida and did not get submitted. You know, he couldn't stop the takedown, but he made Almeida work. But we know what Lewis is about, man. He's trying to knock you out. He's the knockout king. He's got the most knockouts in UFC history. You've seen against like Curtis Blades, that sick uppercut. That's how he defends takedowns, with a sick uppercut. And even if he gets taken down, man, he explodes back up and he gets back up. He's fighting Rodrigo Nascimento, who's a jiu-jitsu guy with decent wrestling and decent timing on his double legs and decent jiu-jitsu, and pretty good boxing. He throws in combination a lot, but he doesn't have very much power. Like he's seen against Dante Mays in his last fight, where they just went back and forth, and really neither guy could hurt each other. And it was a pretty close fight. But before that, he had 2 split decisions with Ilir Latifi and Tanner Boser. And I kind of thought he lost both of them fights, if we're going to be completely honest. Failed a drug test after beating Alan Badeau and was knocked out bad by Chris Dokas with some fast hands. So you see, he's never really, besides the Tanner Boser, who has the worst takedown defense in the world, that was the only fight that he really had fought a striker, but he was able to take him down a lot. But like, if that was 5 rounds, Tanner Boser would have beat him up, because Rodrigo Nascimento starts slowing down in the 3rd round of every fight he has. You even seen against Dante Mays in this last fight. So for this, dude, I'm going Derek Lewis. This is a giant step down in competition. I'm going to tell you right now that the UFC gave him this easy fight because he took that Jailton Almeida fight, basically knew he was probably most likely going to take a L, went all the way to Brazil and saved a main event. So they're like, here you go. You can have Rodrigo Nascimento. Tell me this ain't the biggest step down in competition ever for Derek Lewis. I mean, he's going to knock this guy out. Like, Nascimento isn't going to, even if he takes Lewis down, Lewis is going to get back up. Nascimento is not choking Lewis out. Every time Lewis gets back up, Nascimento is in trouble. And the second that Nascimento can't take him down and they got a box, dude, Lewis is going to knock him out. You seen what Chris Dawkins did to him. Nascimento doesn't take shots very well. Yeah, man, give me Black Beast on this one. Derek Lewis, his best takedown defense is that uppercut. So I think he can hit Nascimento with an uppercut, either just in the clinch uppercut, or, you know, dirty boxing, or just hit him with a big uppercut when he's coming in. So give me Derek Lewis, man. I got to go with Black Beast here, getting this win. Man, I appreciate everybody checking out this breakdown. I really appreciate all you guys been supporting my channel and supporting my stuff for a long time. So I really appreciate you guys. Got up over 4,000 subscribers last week, man. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I put a lot of time into this, and that shows me that you guys appreciate that by subscribing and checking it out. So I really appreciate you guys. Good luck this weekend, and I will